Ladies and gentlemen, today SoFi just hit over $17 a share, actually closing out the day at $16.88 a share. Okay. But that wasn't the most exciting thing that's happened today. This was. Okay. Or at least up until what we're about to get in, which might even be more bullish than this. But let's start here. So we saw this report of buying stocks from Eric Schopenhauer. Okay. I think that's how you say his name, the executive vice president of the borrow department for SoFi or their lending department. So he actually purchased, which is what the P is for, today 30,600 shares of SoFi on the dip at $16.34, or roughly a $500,000 purchase. 500,000. Okay. He ended up doing this. I mean, by the way, his total amount of shares that he has outstanding now is 46,000 shares, which means he more than tripled the amount of overall shares that he was holding. More than tripled. This was an extremely bullish sign that, we have an executive vice president of the company ending up purchasing shares at the top of the market for SoFi, where a bunch of people are considering trimming or getting rid of their shares. He is buying extensively, tripling his position. What does that tell you for what they're seeing in the lending departments, whether that's the loan platform business, new products that are coming up, debt markets in general? I mean, it's just nothing but positivity. You can sell shares for a bunch of different reasons. Tax purposes, maybe you're wanting a new house, maybe you need to do all these things, you have these financial obligations, divorce, anything, right? But you only have one reason to buy, and that is that someone thinks that this stock is going to go higher, right? And that you're going to sell it for more money into the future. But then we got something very particular. We saw another report today of someone making some changes in their shares, which was Anthony Noto. Whenever this report originally came in, boy, did it scare me, okay? Anthony Noto is reporting selling 2 million shares for $33.76 million. Okay, this is what Anthony Noto is doing. Someone that has notoriously only bought stock in this company, and now he's actually selling a massive chunk of this company. Okay. We were going through trying to understand what this could be for, whether it was, trying to cover for a bunch of restricted stock units. These are actually the amounts that he's actually selling. So this isn't stuff that he's bought in. These are times whenever he's actually vested these restricted stock units. Now he's actually going to be selling them now, some as early as 2019. But as we go through, we actually continued to read on and look at this. This changes the complete story. In accordance with the procedures described in the Commission's interpretive letter to Goldman Sachs, I'll just skip ahead a little bit. This Form 144 is subject to a prepaid forward sale contract between Anthony Noto and the broker named in Section 3B, or Goldman Sachs. The contracts will provide for an upfront cash payments to Anthony Noto based upon the market price of the shares. So he's going to receive $33.79 million, but upon the expiration of the contract, Anthony Noto will be obligated to deliver a specified number of shares based on the then current market price at settlement. Okay? So he might not actually be getting rid of 2 million shares. Anthony Noto has just pledged, these 2 million shares right now, or essentially the market share value of 33.76 million at the time right now, that is 2 million shares. But this might not always be 2 million shares. So what does this mean? Well, one, Anthony Noto is getting a big paycheck, $33.7 million. We do not know what this is for. Okay, some of the big expectations are this could be for tax, right? He could be lowering his overall tax obligations, or he could be making some sort of large play on SoFi here. Think about this, okay? He's essentially taking SoFi and selling shares. If he were to just sell in the market, he'd get, for 2 million shares of SoFi, he would get $33.7 million. But that's not what he's saying here. He's loaning it out for a period of time. We don't know how long. I'm going to assume it's a very long period, probably 2 years plus. And the reason why I suspect that is because think about why he would do this. One, he's going to have to pay some level of interest on this loan, but also you could potentially be getting real like way worse odds on your money here. If SoFi actually falls down to $10 a share, he still needs to sell $33.76 million worth of shares. So it could actually be much more than 2 million shares that he's originally signed up for. So this could be so bad for him. But he didn't do that. In fact, he's actually signing this up. And if SoFi goes to $30 or something along these lines, he might only have to give essentially 1 million shares or around 1 million shares instead of the 2 million. So it's almost like he's making a call on SoFi stock going up into the soon-ish future on SoFi. This is by far the most bullish thing that we're essentially could be seeing, whether this is for tax purposes or if he's going to take these shares. This could be even more bullish because Anthony Noto does do a lot of plays and he does bet on himself a lot, right? There's not a lot of CEOs that have done as aggressive stock purchases in the own company that he owns. Will he take a percentage of that loan and rebuy SoFi stock with it? That would be by far the most bullish thing. He would be essentially leveraging up and using margin to rebuy his own stock, and then also wanting the stock to continue to run further so then he doesn't have to sell as many. But what do you guys think? This is just absolutely insane. We're at $16, $17 a share, hovering in those ranges. In the after hours markets, the stock is flying above $17 right now. But what are your thoughts for SoFi into 2025? Because right now, the C-suite executives look very pleased.